so this is going to be my first story time. Okay, so my computer just said that the battery's low, so I need to make this quick. All right. Um, story time. Sometimes on my channel, I'm gonna have something called story time where I'm gonna just, I don't have to explain what story time is. You guys know what it is. Okay, today my story time is gonna be how I rehomed the snails that were eating my plants and succulents in my front like porch or entrance area. So in my front porch, I have this beautiful, like big wooden planter container box or whatever you call it. It's about 2.5 by 2.5 feet, and it's got 3 levels, and there's just a diverse amount of um, succulents and cacti and stuff growing in there. And it's beautiful. One day, hopefully, I will show you a picture of it. Okay. So it's 3 levels, and on the bottom level, I had these beautiful succulents growing. Okay. I don't know if you can see this, probably doesn't do it justice because in person, there are so many different colors in this succulent. There's like shades of green, like light green, blue, pink, purple. It's like a beautiful pastel like rainbow. Like I love these. They're gorgeous, and they were growing in the succulent box or the planter box. And then they started growing out, and as they grew out, see when they grow out how they grow like roots off of their stems as they grow out, and then they sit onto the ground that's like right below the planter box. Their roots will go into the dirt and they'll start growing more there. And they just are thriving there because they're getting like the perfect amount of sun. It's like a covered area. And then I have a tree in the front. So they're not getting like direct sun that's going to burn them, but they're getting good sun. And then they're getting like overspray from the sprinklers. So they're doing beautiful there, right? I mean, I've had this for years. So they, now they're in the dirt growing, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna cover my whole front area, right? And then all of a sudden they started disappearing. I would go out there and like the top parts of them would be eaten or gone. Now they were like bigger than these. Like a lot of them were like actually bigger than these. They were huge because they had been growing there for a long time, and they were like in that soil. So they were just getting a lot of like nutrients, and they were just outdoors, and they thrive when you let them just grow wild outdoors. Um, and then, yeah, I, I was like, what is happening? And I was so sad, like when the first like really big one kind of completely disappeared. So when these grow out leggy like this, sometimes people will cut them like right here, right under like the flower on the stem, and they call it deadheading. So like if they have a lot of them that have grown out, then they'll just cut them, deadhead them, and like replant them or pot them. That's what was happening to mine. But I wasn't deadheading them. So I was like, what is going on? Who is doing this? And I actually started thinking like people were doing it because I was like, are people coming and like cutting them off? And yeah, I started getting like really suspicious, and it was just crazy because I was like really sad about it. One night I went out there in the dark. I don't know what I was looking for, and there was just snails everywhere. And they were covering this, and then they were also covering this beautiful purple plant that I had growing out there too. Um, like a beautiful, like dark purple. It almost was like a ground covering, but it was a plant. But it was like grew long and viney. It was beautiful. They started like eating holes in it. And I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? This is crazy. And because in the daytime, they're nowhere to be found. I have this big, like almost like bush of other succulents, and it has grown so big. I think that they're just going in there in the daytime and then coming out to eat these other plants at night. But it's really weird because I don't know why they're not eating that. But anyways, I didn't know what to do. So my mom was like, maybe you should like just pour a bunch of salt there. And I'm like, salt? Like, okay, I know these snails are not my friends and that like they're eating my plants and succulents, but like I'm not gonna do salt. Like that's like somebody like pouring acid on us, right? So I looked it up and it said that that wasn't good for your soil either, or your plants. So when I looked it up, it said, you can put like eggshells and garlic and different things to deter them from coming there. But the best thing is really like to get rid of them. So I live next to a park, and there's an area in the park I remember seeing like a ton of snails. And it's quite a bit away from my house. Um, because I would actually sometimes like step on them when I would take my daughter there, and I was like, ah, sorry, I didn't mean to. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna rehome them and take them there. So I got this container, literally filled it to like the top with snails. That's how many were out there. Um, Went on the little scooter to the park and put them in the bush. And I think they're going to be happy there because the soil is like nice and moist there because it also gets like watered and then it's against a wall. And so I think that they will like it, and there's lots of other snails there. So I'm going to show you one of the snails because last night I went out again and I still found some snails, but only filled this to about here. And then today, when I just went out to get this container to show you, there was a snail in my planter box. And I was like, oh, no, no, I can't have that in there. So, yeah, yeah, I'm going to grab it. I don't know if I'm supposed to, but here he is. This little guy is eating my succulents and my plants. And I'm just like the type of person, like if I find a bug or a spider or something in my house, like I don't kill it. I'll catch it and then like release it. So if you're like that too and you have snails, um, you can go collect them and then find like a park or something that has like big bushes. Um, we have a train behind the park, so there's like also a big wall. So it's like literally the perfect home for them, and you can just rehome them. And I did put some cracked shells because it said it wouldn't like hurt them. They just won't want to climb. They don't like to like glide across the eggshells. So I I I brought some eggshells to show you too. Um, so I just got the eggshells, and what I did is I just like squashed them and rub them together in my hand, and they kind of just like started falling apart like confetti, and just did that like all around the plant and the succulents that I don't want them to touch. And so far, so good. They haven't come, and there's all kinds of new little babies growing off the stems of the succulents. So hopefully, in a while, there'll be a bunch of them. Maybe I'll go take a picture, and then I'll take a picture today, and then I'll take a picture as they grow because they grow really fast out there. When you plant things in the dirt outside, they grow crazy. Um, so yeah, that's my story. And if you've had a similar issue, this is free, and it's kind to the snails because I'm sure that we need them, but I don't need them eating my succulents. Like I'm sorry, but they just can't live here. Um, but when I went to go put more yesterday in that bush, they were already like stuck to the like branches in there, and then some of them were climbing around on like a water bottle that was in there. Like they looked like they were like fine, like they adjusted well. So I think that they'll be fine there. And I hope you enjoyed this story time. Until the next one, bye.